Ahoy there, nautical truth seekers. My name is Aries Ezra, your decorated skipper for this voyage, and you have just boarded the illustrious ship Nautical Awakenings, where we have daily deep dives into Esoterica and sail steadfast through the waters of truth. Today's expedition takes us inward, far beyond the five senses, into the vast, uncharted realm of inner wisdom. This is the power of intuition and knowing how to tap into your inner guidance. Have you ever known something without knowing how? A quiet voice inside nudging you, warning you, or leading you before logic even had the chance to speak. That's intuition. It's not fantasy or wishful thinking. This spidey sense is very real. It's ancient, it's scientific, and it is your birthright. Gather your gear, set your compasses, and batten down the hatches. We're about to get nautical. Intuition is often described as a gut feeling or a sixth sense, but in truth, it's so much more. It is the silent navigator of your soul, an intelligence older than thought itself. While emotions tend to surge and crash like waves on the surface, intuition runs deeper, still, and wise. It speaks without words, offering guidance that defies linear understanding. Intuition is the compass of the soul. Many cultures revered this inner knowing. Indigenous shamans, mystics, and initiates of the ancient mystery schools trusted intuition as divine instruction. In the West, science is finally catching up. Studies in decision-making show that our unconscious mind processes information faster and more efficiently than our conscious mind. Sometimes hundreds of milliseconds before we're even aware a decision has been made. Intuition, it would seem, is not some whimsical muse. It is an actual biological and spiritual function working harmoniously. Intuition doesn't always shout. More often it whispers. It nudges. It flutters. So how do you recognize its voice? Start by listening to your body. Your physical form is an antenna for subtle energy. Notice the tension in your gut when something feels off. Observe how your breath slows when you're at peace, or how your heartbeat accelerates when danger nears, even when no rational threat is present. These cues are the body's way of echoing intuitive knowledge. You may also notice repeating patterns or recurring thoughts. These aren't always random. Sometimes, your inner guidance uses subtle repetition to bring your attention to what matters. A symbol, a phrase, or even a song lyric might show up again and again until you pause and listen. Then there is the strange phenomenon of intuitive nudges, the kind you feel when you just know you need to call someone, take a different path home, or say yes to something you would normally fear. Trusting these impulses, even when they contradict logic, is the foundation of intuitive living. To refine intuition, we must cultivate it. Mindfulness meditation is one of the most powerful tools for quieting the static of the mind and tuning into the still voice within. As you sit in silence, you create space for subtle truths to rise to the surface. Journaling helps too. It creates a record of intuitive hits and misses, revealing patterns you might not notice otherwise. Over time, you'll see which feelings are rooted in fear and which come from your inner knowing. Then there's the simplest but hardest practice of all, trusting your gut. Yes, you may get it wrong sometimes, but every mistake is a refinement. Every stumble sharpens your inner compass. What's the deeper source of this knowing? Esoteric traditions point to the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye, as the gateway to higher intuition. This tiny gland, located deep in the brain, has long been regarded as the seat of spiritual vision. Descartes referred to it as the seat of the soul. Ancient Egyptians, Hindus, and Taoists saw it as the organ of inner sight. Biologically, the pineal gland regulates melatonin and our circadian rhythms. But mystically, It's believed to produce DMT, the spirit molecule, hinting at its connection to dreams, visions, and altered states of consciousness. Over time, modern diets, stress, and chemical exposure have dulled this gland, but practices like sun-gazing at sunrise, breathwork, and certain frequencies or mantras can awaken it. When the pineal gland activates, intuition intensifies, visions sharpen, inner knowing becomes more vivid. You no longer rely solely on thoughts, you receive truths, not just from your psyche, but from higher dimensions of consciousness. This is where intuition links directly to spiritual warfare. Because as your inner sight sharpens, you begin to see the energetic influences that surround you, both benevolent and malevolent. Alcohol, for example, historically called spirits, has long been associated with the weakening of the auric field, opening the door to negative or demonic entities. In ancient times, excessive alcohol was seen as a means of possession, not just chemically, but spiritually. When the intuition is dulled and the self is numbed, outside forces can take hold. True spiritual strength is born from clarity, not intoxication. And what about AI? As humanity sharpens its external intelligence through artificial means, the real challenge lies in maintaining inner intelligence. AI can either become a tool of awakening, helping us process patterns and data that support our intuitive leaps, or it could potentially distract us from inner truth entirely. The key is discernment, to know the difference between artificial suggestion and authentic knowing. This is especially crucial when confronting modern illusions, including the illusion of progress. Not all advancement is evolution. Not all innovation leads to liberation. Many ancient teachings remind us that truth cannot be given, it must be remembered. And this remembering happens through a sacred journey, the path of the initiate. Unlike the fictional legends we grow up with, the true esoteric hero's journey is not about defeating dragons or rescuing princesses. It is the soul's ascent through layers of illusion, ego, and forgetfulness. It begins with a stirring, an inner knowing that there is more to life than meets the eye. The initiate leaves behind the world of appearances and enters the temple of transformation, often metaphorically, but sometimes quite literally. The ancient Egyptians called this Per-Ankh, the house of life, where adepts studied under silence, symbol, and cosmic law. Mystery schools like the Pythagoreans and the initiates of Isis trained their adepts in this progression. Silence the mind, purify the body, activate the inner sight, and only then will the higher senses open. So why does this matter in daily life? Intuition empowers us to make decisions that resonate with our highest self. It builds confidence, not from ego, but from alignment. It unlocks creativity by offering solutions we could never think our way into. And most importantly, it returns us to a state of trust, a spiritual trust in the order behind chaos. Esoterically speaking, the Akashic records are the energetic archives of all that has happened, is happening, and could happen. Some say intuition is our soul's way of briefly touching this field, that the knowing we feel is not a guess, but a memory from a future that has already unfolded somewhere outside of time. Chakras also play a role. Intuition can arise from different centers depending on the situation. Your solar plexus warns you through gut instinct. Your heart reveals truth through empathy. And your third eye delivers visions, dreams, and revelations. The crown chakra, when open, becomes the channel through which divine knowledge flows, unfiltered. And yes, dream work is sacred. Many don't realize that your soul travels in the astral during sleep. Ancient Egyptians practiced dream incubation, sleeping in sacred temples to receive divine messages. Today, you can set intentions before sleep, asking your guides or higher self for answers, and receive them if you're open. This journey of awakening intuition is more than a lifestyle, it's an initiation. At first, intuition is a flicker. Then it becomes a flame. Eventually, it becomes a torch that guides you through the darkness. Especially during moments of transformation, the dark night of the soul, intuition becomes your only compass. Like the hero of every myth, you will walk through trials, guided only by the light you carry within. This is your hero's journey. Intuition is your sword and shield. Trust it, and it will lead you not only to wisdom, but to the remembrance of who you truly are. If this message stirred something within you, consider it a sign. Trust that feeling. Let it lead you. Drop anchor in the comments with your own intuition experiences. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your fellow truth-seeking sailors. A huge thanks to Dubby and all my subscribers for keeping the channel afloat. If you'd like to support the channel, check the description below. This is Captain Aries Ezra signing off from Nautical Awakenings. Fair winds and following seas to my spiritual shipmates.